Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga and glories to Sura. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaivam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayat Mudiraye Nashtabrayestu Avadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sivaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistuke Shanubhavam Akalam Sutisaram Ekam Adhyatma Deepam Atithir Satam Tamandam Samsarina Karunayaha Purana Guyam Tam Vyasasu Payami Guru Munam. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, The Creation of the Fourth Order, Chapter 28. Puranjana becomes a woman in the next life. Text number 24. Purim Bihayo Pagata uparuddho bhujangama yatamevanu puri vishirna prakritim gata purim vihayo pagata uparuddho bhujangama yatamevanu puri vishirna prakritim gata purim vihayo pagata uparuddho bhujangama yatamevanu puri vishirna prakritim gata
Purim Vihayo Pagata Uparudo Bhujangama Yatamevanu Puri Vishna Prakritim Gata
Uparuddho bhujangama Vishirna prakritim gata
Vrindhaya Pagata
Vindhyaya upagata
Uparuddho Bhujangama
Yadatam
Yadatam
Puri
Vishna Prakritim Gata
Vishirna prakritim gata.
Purim Vihayo Pagata
Purim vihayo pagata
Bhujangama
Uparuddho bhujangama
Yadatam Puri
Vishna Prakritim Gata
Vishirna prakritim gata. All right, okay, here we are. Purim, the city. Vihaya, having given up. Upagataha, gone out. Uparuddhaha, arrested. Bhujangamaha, the serpent. Yada, when? Tam, him. Eva, certainly. Anu, after. Puri, the city. Vishirna, scattered. Prakritim, matter. Gata, turn into. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The serpent, who had already been arrested by the soldiers of Yavanaraja and was out of the city, began to follow his master along with the others. As soon as they all left the city, it was immediately dismantled and smashed to dust. Please repeat. The serpent, who had already been arrested by the soldiers of Yavanaraja and was out of the city, began to follow his master along with the others. As soon as they all left the city, it was immediately dismantled and smashed to dust. Purport. When the living entity is arrested, all his followers, namely the life air, the senses, and sense objects, immediately leave the lump of matter, the body. When the living entity and his companions leave, the body no longer works but turns into basic material elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. When a city
attacked by enemies is vacated by its inhabitants, the enemy immediately takes advantage of that city and bombards it to smash the whole thing to dust. When we say, "Dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt return," we refer to the body. When a city is attacked and bombarded by enemies, the citizens generally leave and the city ceases to exist. It is a foolish person who engages in improving the condition of a city without caring for the citizens or inhabitants. Similarly, a living entity who is not properly enlightened in spiritual knowledge simply takes care of the external body, not knowing that the spirit soul is the principal factor within the body. When one is advanced in spiritual knowledge, the spirit soul is saved from eternal transmigration. The Bhagavatam considers those who are attached to their bodies to be like cows and asses. Saeva gokaraha. The cow is a very innocent animal, and the ass is a beast of burden. One who labors under the bodily conception simply works like an ass and does not know his self-interest. It is therefore said, Yasyatma buddhi kunape tridhatuke swade kalatrade subho mayijjade yatrertha buddhai salilana karhiches janesu avegyanesu eva gokharah. A human being who identifies this body made of three elements, kapavittabhata, with his self, who considers the byproducts of the body to be his kinsmen, who considers the land of birth worshipable, and who goes to a place of pilgrimage simply to take a bath rather than meet men of transcendental knowledge there, is to be considered like an ass or a cow. Bhagavatam 10:84-13. Human civilization devoid of Krishna consciousness is simply a civilization of war animals. Sometimes such a civilization may study the dead body and consider the brain or the heart. However, not part of the body is important unless However, no part of the body is important unless the spirit soul is present. In a modern civilization of cows and asses, scientists try to search out some value in the brain or heart of a dead man. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Sthapita Nena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayan Dadate Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalan Shri Guru Vaisnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadotam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakhan Vitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataro Vriksha Sindhu Vyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namah Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesya Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right, this is the material civilization. We all try to live forever. We do not want to die. But whatever we do, nothing succeed in this material world to our desire to continue living in this vehicle, this body. And it is connected, exactly connected to Hiranyakashipu and today's Lord Narasimhadev pastime as well. What not Hiranyakashipu did in order to live forever. He did severe austerities, penances, no do in the history.
Says that in Bhagavatam.
Huh?
Says that no one can perform his austerities.
Nobody, yes, in Bhagavatam it says that no one can or could possibly perform the austerities that Hiranyakashipu has done. Why? Because you want to be immortal forever. You want to be immortal and he want to conquer the Supreme Lord and he want to become Supreme Lord himself. Prabhupada is mentioning in purport in Bhagavatam about this incident that he is comparing Hiranyakashipu with modern scientists. All the scientists are working very hard to manufacture in so many chemicals in the library, in the library, not library, in the laboratories. Jamuna caught my fault. in the laboratories, and then promising, keeping us persuading that no worry, one day we will definitely help you out with this desire, and then we will find out something so that we can live forever. But recently, the so-called modern scientists, they come to the conclusion that the death could be, there may not be death, because they have idea about the multiverse. If the living being, when they disappear or die here, they might exist in some other place. They have somehow come to this conclusion, and they say that this is a great achievement in our scientific research and in this field. But in Bhagavatam, Krishna says that always, many times, like millions of ago, that najayati mriyati va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavidavana bhuya ajo nitya saswatoyam purano hanyati hanyamani sari. This is the idea, that concept Krishna already spoke in Bhagavad Gita. These people do not understand or do not take it as knowledge, as source of information, but they want to find out on their own using their tiny brain. This is what modern scientists do. But ultimately, yesterday also, when Prabhupada was writing purport, that when living being is gone away from the body and it is taken to the court of Yamaraj, and Lord Yamaraj will decide what punishment and what body will be befitting for the soul and will be awarded him like that. But modern scientists do not have this information. Even if they do this, they read this or they come across this knowledge, they are not going to accept it. But one good news for devotees, that Mr. Trump all night discussed with Prime Minister Modi and the Prime Minister of Pakistan, and they come to the peace. Everything stopped right away, because it helps. India is a land of Dharma, and our temples, devotees, everything, whole civilization go to war and kill each other with using their nuclear weapon. It just destroy, it devastated the whole people. And it is difficult for devotees, for every living being. So it is a good news. Lord Nrsimhadev is acting because devotees in India, they're praying constantly all over the world. So this is how Lord Nrsimhadev protect his devotees. So when we talk about Lord Nrsimhadev, we all know about the story about Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad Maharaj, all this Srimad Bhagavatam. Hiranyakashipu was a great demon. He wanted to control over all the three lokas, all the 14 planetary systems, and wanted to rule with that determination that I am the greatest personality. No one can defeat me. We all know about this transcendental pastimes from Bhagavatam. We hear all the time, and we are going to hear tonight as well in the slideshow presentation. Let's discuss something different in different angle, how we can see and understand the pastime of Lord Nrsimhadev this morning. So when we talk about Lord Nrsimhadev, he is very famous. He comes in Bhagavatam, in Puranas, in Vedas. Lord Nrsimhadev's names come everywhere. We have like whole Purana named Nrsimha Purana that explains the different characteristics and qualities and pastimes of Lord Nrsimhadev specifically. And in Bhagavatam, we have whole chapter, Hiranyakashipu's and Hiranyaksha and Prahlad Maharaj prayers, everything, Lord Nrsimhadev appearance, everything all in Srimad Bhagavatam, and in different way in Puranas also, Lord Nrsimhadev is mentioned. And we have like in Sri Narsingha Ashtottara Nama Valida, 108 or 1008 names of Lord Nrsimhadev. In Vishnu Sahasranama, we have like 2-3 instances like Lord Nrsimhadev names come. But out of all the pastimes throughout all the scriptures, the most important focus is Prahlada Palaka. This name has come again and again, and had all the acharyas has focused on this. Palaka. Palaka means to maintain somebody. Maintainer of Prahlad Maharaj. Among all the name, Prahlada Palaka is the very principal, and all the acharyas has stressed in this name. Means the Prahlada means a devotee, Palaka means a maintainer, or a Bhaktavatsala. Bhaktavatsala are the loving loving protector of the devotees. These are the very primary, meaningful name that comes in the scriptures. So, Srila Prabhupada, I think Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur or Bhakti Vinod Thakur, they introduced worshipping of Sri Nrsimhadev in the temple of Gaudiya Vaishnava in order to protect our preaching from demoniac attack. We have a history, recent history in Mayapur, where a lot of Muslim people would attack on a daily basis to the devotees and discourage them. So Mayapur is a place of Mia. Mia means Muslims. Mayapur. It was Mayapur and Muslims. They are by nature very envious of other philosophy, other faith, other people, because they do not want to see other than following Allah. So in order to protect them, Prabhupada introduced to bring Nrsimhadev. And we do have so many varieties of form of Lord Nrsimhadev. He is sometimes a Ugra Nrsimhadev. Sometimes you hear his name as Jwala Nrsimha. Have you heard Jwala Nrsimha? If you go to South India in Ahobalam or somewhere in the South India, on the top of the big mountain, there is a self-manifested form of the Lord Nrsimhadev. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited that place to have darshan of Lord Nrsimhadev. And in that Jwala Nrsimha deity, if you go and see, you only see the sandalwood bulb, like, because Jwala is fire. Lord Nrsimhadev is very angry, is very mad, and then the fire coming out of his body. And in order to make it calm, they always smear sandalwood paste and keep him calm, cool. And sometimes they take that deity out in the Utsav, means festival, and devotee can see the darshan. Otherwise, in the temple, Lord Nrsimhadev is always covered with the sandalwood paste, so we cannot really see the darshan. And we have Lakshmi Narsimha is with Lakshmi Devi, calm and satisfied, peaceful. I think we have Lakshmi Narsimha Devi too.
Yeah.
And Lakshmi, he keeps Lakshmi on his lap. He's more peaceful, playful, happy. But the deity in Mayapur we have is what Narsimhadev? Ugra Narsimhadev. Ugra means ferocious, ready to fight. And there is a beautiful pastime history how that Narsimhadev come to Mayapur. Very nice. Because Ugra Narsimhadev cannot be made by anyone who is not qualified. And it cannot be, he cannot be taken care or worshipped by anyone who is also not qualified. Like Grihastha, we cannot do that. We will, if we do not have enough purity, then it destroys our devotion. We can, sometimes people can die. So nobody can dare to touch Ugra Narsimhadev deity in Mayapur. So we have fixed brahmacharis who are completely staunch and following the strict brahmacharya, and they comes out and worship Lord Nrsimhadev, Ugra Nrsimhadev. Yes. And in the South India, there was a man who said, I can make this deity for you. But he says, as soon as I complete, you have to take it immediately. And that man, South Indian man, he completed the Lord Nrsimhadev, Ugra Nrsimhadev, that was going to come to Mayapur. And at that time in South India, it is like a tropical place, always rain. Sometimes hours and hours rain altogether, like 8 hours, sometimes days together. And there was like little hut. And where Lord Nrsimhadev's Vigraha was kept after completion. And there was a rain going on for days, and that hut was in fire. Can you imagine that? There's rain everywhere. There's no electricity connection to be like short circuit or something. But there was a fire, and that man called our devotees, hey, come and get Nrsimhadev. Take him. And ever since Lord Nrsimhadev was established in Mayapur, everything was stopped. These Dakus, Gundas, Guns, Islamic people, they were scared. So Prahlad Maharaj, the name itself defined the meaning of Prahlad. Like all the name in Bhagavatam, if you see any name of the Bhagavatam, you have a very deeper philosophical meaning behind it. But nowadays, we name people who do not have any quality, but we give them some name. It's an imitation copy. Like Kirtan Niketas, I don't have any quality of Kirtan Niketas, but anyway, somehow this name was given to me from his spiritual master. But before that, Kesava, what quality of Kesava I had to become a Kesava? No, none. So, but in Vedic time, the name would be there to define your real characteristic, like Prahlada. Allada means what? Allada means bliss, Ananda. Pra means prakristena, means to give pleasure completely without any reservation. And Lord Nrsimhadev is glorified as Prahlada, to Prahlad, Allada, happiness, Daine, one who gives. One who gives pleasure to devotee is Nrsimhadev. And Lord Nrsimhadev always gives complete satisfaction to Lord Nrsimhadev. So if we see this name, Nrsimha, let's analyze the name described by Baladeva Vidyabhusana in scriptures. What are the different meaning of Nrsimhadev? One very common meaning we know, Nara plus Simha. Nara means human being, Simha means lion. He appeared in that form, half lion, half man. One very literal meaning of Nrsimhadev is half lion, half man. That's why when Hiranyakashipu was killed, and Lord Prahlad Maharaj was there, and Narasimhadev was licking him like a lion, like lion licks its cub and then loved like that. And one meaning of Narasimhadev is that the Lord appeared to protect his devotees in a half man and half lion form. That is why he is called Narasimha. And another meaning Baladeva Vidya Bhushan explained is that Nara, he said Nara means people. People, who are the people of the Lord? Devotees. This Nara here specifically defines as devotee, even though it defines all the living being, but one who are more close, one who are in loving relationship with the Lord, they are called Nara, devotees. And Simha means, what is the representative of lion? Vigor, energy. One who protects his devotees with his complete full power.
It's true that in Bengali, Nara, they say Nara like it's like an affectionate term. That can mean someone very dear to you.
Maybe that is true too.
Yeah, I talked to the Bengali person about that. They said that. Nara can mean affection.
Yeah, affection. Yeah, the Lord who protects his devotees with all his energies is called Narasimha. And another meaning to that is some devotees, they take Lord Narasimhadev and they meditate as one of the form of Lord Vishnu. Nara means also water. Water like Narayana. Narayana in the Ayana means to reside, to rest. Nara means water. One who rests in water is called Narayana. So Lord Narasimhadev is also one of the form of Lord Vishnu. Actually from Chirodakasai Vishnu, Lord Narasimhadev appears and performs his pastimes. So this way, different devotees understand Lord Narasimhadev in different ways. But in ISKCON, we worship Lord Narasimhadev as the protector. We ask protection from Lord Narasimhadev. Especially in Gaudiya Vaishnava, we ask for protection two personalities. One is Lord Narasimhadev. Another is, who can tell? Who do we pray for protection? Krishna is there, Nam is there, but apart from that. Can anyone guess? Gaudiya Vaishnava. Go to Vrindavan and try to specify in Vrindavan. Not Balaram, not Shiva more. Go to Bhakta, devotee side. Giriraj Govardhan. Giriraj Govardhan. So in Vrindavan, people do not pray to Lord Narasimhadev. They pray to Lord Govardhan for protection. Outside of Vrindavan, immediately Narasimhadev. This is the mood of the devotees, especially in Gaudiya Vaishnava. Even though Lord Narasimhadev is in all the Vaishnavas with equal importance, but our devotees have a different angle of seeing Lord Narasimhadev. One time, Lakshmiji asked, and in Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami said that as soon as Lord Narasimhadev licking him and touch him and give him his special mercy, and he immediately said, Lakshmiji never received this blessing, but Prahlad did. And Prabhupada writes, so it is not necessary that if you are too close to God and you get more mercy from God. Lakshmi is always with Lord Narasimhadev, but here Sukadeva Goswami says that Prahlad Maharaj received such a blessing that Lakshmiji never got. He never put his hand on the head of the Lakshmi, but he did to Prahlad Maharaj. And Prabhupada quotes Madhvacharya is saying about why he did that. Madhvacharya says there's a true reason why Prahlad Maharaj was very special and Lord Narasimhadev granted that special mercy to Prahlad Maharaj. One reason, what was the one reason? Let's discuss. This is not lecture, this is just communication, two-way interaction. What could be the one reason that Prahlad Maharaj received that special blessing that Lakshmiji did not receive?
If Maharaj fully surrendered in his mood is not he has a mood of outside.
Yeah, he surrendered and he served the Lord, risking his own life. Prahlad Maharaj, he gave up like even moksha, like all the great yogis. They are meditating for moksha for thousands of years, and Prahlad Maharaj gave up all this subhimukti kama in Bhagavatam 7th chapter. He gave up his personal mukti, and he completely took a most possible dangerous risk in order to glorify the Lord, in order to serve the Lord. We see from Bhagavatam how he was tortured, how he was given options to give up. That's why Prahlad Maharaj says, until you want really from your heart to do the bhakti, none of the energy from of the world can make you a devotee. Matirna Krishna parato satovai. Until your mind, your heart is willingly coming up to take up Krishna consciousness, not by hearing any amount of things and everything. You can never take up Krishna consciousness, but it can happen only in the association of devotees. So Prahlad Maharaj said that punas charvita charvanam. These people, that is why they are not taking up Krishna consciousness, because they are still trying to enjoy this material world. No matter how many times they fail, they still continue with that. So because of that, taking a great risk, Prahlad Maharaj was so dear to Lord Nrsimhadev. Another reason could be, let's discuss. What could be another? That Prabhupada quote from Madhvacharya in the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam. What could be another reason? Anybody come up? Some plan, some ideas? You got the point exactly. You touched the point, essential point, because he was coming from very low demoniac family. He said, Hari Ugra Jatam, my dear Lord, what qualification do I have to attract your attention? Because I'm coming from such a lower family, demoniac family. My father is such a demon who wants to kill you. I cannot understand my fortune that you are blessing to me. So in Krishna consciousness, sometimes we may be thinking, oh, I am from such a lower, the far and the lower we are from, and when we glorify in this material world the glories of Krishna, Krishna will immediately pay attention to that devotee. in Vaikuntha, for Lakshmiji, there is no risk. She is comfortable living a very nice, aram, beautiful life, all the time having fun and massaging him. Hey, let's do some trick like that. Prem, loving affairs. But there is no risk. But Prahlad Maharaj in this material world, in the family of demon, amongst everyone, he glorified Lord. Pleased this Nrsimhadev so much. He immediately paid him like that. And when Lakshmi is asking Nrsimhadev, why are you showing some specific importance to Prahlad Maharaj? And Prahlad Maharaj, Nrsimhadev says, actually, I am not protecting Prahlad, but I am protecting myself. I am selfish. Nrsimhadev says, I am actually a very selfish person. I am not self-protecting him, but I am. And Jiva Goswami said the same thing. Lord Nrsimhadev is doing here selfish business, but this selfish business is beneficial for all the living beings. How Lord Nrsimhadev is selfish? Now he explained to Mother Lakshmi ji. Like when I protect Prahlad, then my bhakti will be protected. When people see in general, people see that a devotee is protected by the Lord, and more people will take up bhakti. More people will have faith in bhakti. And when many people do bhakti, what will happen? My follower increase. And when my follower increase, my glories increase. So it is actually protecting my own fame. So this is the intimate relationship between Lord Nrsimhadev and Prahlad Maharaj. And this Hiranyakashipu was such a great demon. He was praying every possible way to be saved. And Lord Nrsimhadev practically showed that how he could go to extreme condition to save his devotees, and how his devotees could go to any extreme to glorify and spread his glories. This is the lesson we can learn from the pastime of Lord Nrsimhadev and Prahlad Maharaj. Devotees can go to any extreme for the pleasure of Krishna, and Krishna can go to any extreme to save his devotees. And sometimes knowingly Krishna put his devotees in trouble to magnify the importance of devotion to the common general public. Fail. Their plan always fail. In the life of Ravana, what did Ravana thought when he was becoming very powerful demon? He used the law of God, and then he prayed to anybody, but he forgot to play. He didn't never say that I would be killed by a human being or animal, because he thought this human being and animal, this is insignificant. Why should I pray for that? Just like Hiranyakashipu prayed, may I not be killed during the day, during the night, by any weapons, by any human, by any animals, anything. But Ravana missed that point. He could not learn lesson from Hiranyakashipu, and he said, may I not be killed by these big devatas and everything. And he missed that. He did not say, may I not be killed by human and animal. But then he was killed by Lord Ram, who was coming in the form of human being, and by the help of animal, monkeys. This is how Lord tricked the demon, and he finished. Death, nobody can escape the time, the death, if one do not surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord. So what path we choose? We choose the path of Prahlad Maharaj or path of his father. Definitely Prahlad Maharaj. And Prabhupada says for the devotees from this pastime, when you take up Krishna consciousness, you always expect the unexpected, because your life may not be always smooth. You may face many challenges on the path of devotional life, and you need to be firmly with strong determination, and do not let your faith startle or fade away. It's not a bed of the roses. Devotional life, sometimes we come across so many challenges, and many devotees go away by some challenges. Little thing comes, but I don't come to this temple anymore. Have you not seen this? Even within our eye, in the broad daylight of our experience, we have seen, come, oh yeah, I was not very welcome. I don't go there. Desire to be recognition and adoration and everything. Big ego is there, so it blocks. That's why the Maya try to stop to the last minute. Even while we are living our final life here, Maya still try to stop. And Krishna still try to protect to the last moment to save a living being from this material world. This is what happened between Lord Nrsimhadev and Hiranyakashipu in order to save Prahlad Maharaj and make the glories. Because of Prahlad Maharaj's devotion, all we are inspiring today, he is still preaching and continuously going on and on and on and on. And Govardhan Maharaj is also preaching. Without Govardhan's presence, nobody would be able to find out the different locations of pastimes of Krishna's. So who is a real preacher? Govardhan, Giriraj Govardhan. Right? That's how Acharya say he's a great preacher. He protects his devotees within Vrindavan and Lord Nrsimhadev outside of Vrindavan, and we carry him in our heart all the time. Yato Nrsimha, Parato Nrsimha. We do have like Samanda Gyana about Nrsimhadev, that when we take up this process of Krishna consciousness, the Lord is everywhere to see us and protect us, that we have this faith. That's why devotees are taking up risk and going out preaching, and they are saved. Yato yato yami tato Nrsimha. I see Nrsimha everywhere. I see the Lord everywhere. So that means your knowledge, you are elevated in Krishna consciousness. There is a book called Elevation to Krishna. It's very nice. That's why Srila Prabhupada practically introduced Lord Nrsimha for our protection, because our mission is not like agarbatti, dubbatti, mambatti like this, but it's preaching, risk, taking up risk for the pleasure of Krishna, to spread his glories. And this is only possible when you have love for that person. Without prem, no dedication is impossible. Like when kids go to school, the teachers in school, they only take care of within that time frame, from 8 to 4. They make all kids are safe and nice. Once they go home, they don't care. They don't worry. But the parents, at all time, what might happen to my son? Oh, maybe something happened, maybe some more complaint today. Like me, always open the phone, and if I see the red notification, then I immediately worry about what complaint today. What complaint today? Oh my God, again. Oh, so parents always think. Similarly, the Lord always worry and think and about devotees. So on this day, we can meditate on Lord Nrsimhadev and have that loving feeling for him. And we need to create this love, prem. In Gaudiya Vaishnava, prem is very important. In other Vaishnavas, they talk about God's external majestic aspect. Some other, they see their different mercy, but we focus on personal relationship in loving affairs. That's why we take care of deities all the time, perfect, fine. We dress them, we feed them, because we know that they are person. That's why Prabhupada introduced this Sunday feast. Why he introduced Sunday feast? Because the Lord is standing in the murti all the time. He feels bored when he do not see the devotees. Can you imagine that you live in your room alone all day, nobody come to see you? You don't interact with the devotees, you feel very bored. If we think Krishna is a person, then we should understand that he also feels very bored. That's why we come here to attend the aratis, bhajan, kirtan, because Krishna feels happy. So there's three different understanding to come to the temple. One, I go to Mangalarti because it benefits me. One selfish, lowest benefit thing. Second, I go because it helps other devotees to be inspired. Third, the highest one is that the Lord feel lonely if I don't go. So he become happy when he see me. This is the highest understanding. That's why devotee willingly, feelingly come to the temple and attend the aratis and programs and everything. I would like to stop here. If anyone has anything at, and we will hear more about Lord Nrsimhadev evening. And I am very sorry I could not come this evening. I work, so please pray for me, so I can have mercy from Lord Nrsimhadev. You know, one interesting thing happened yesterday. I'll tell you one story yesterday. At my work, I was listening a call from Costa Rica. The guy was taking a call, and then I was monitoring him. And after that, I called him and to give him some feedback. And he has like long hair. And when I called him, and he immediately tried to make his hair like tidy and nice. And I told him, don't worry about it. You look like a yogi. In ancient time, I just told him, in ancient time, people would not care about their hair. Either they would save like me, and or they would keep it like you. So you are fine. And he says, oh, I know that I used to be a Vaishnava before. And how do you know Vaishnava? Because I saw you, I was living in ashram, but now they closed the temple in Costa Rica, so I'm not any, I'm like, I don't have place to go to practice, but yeah, I know you. Yes, the devotees everywhere. You know?
Costa Rica.
And yeah, and then I started talking to him. He said, they say, pura vida, life is pure. In Costa Rica, in Spanish, they say pura vida. All right, this was my story. Hare Krishna. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, something broke?
Yes. The Diro-san. Diro-san.
Okay. Yeah, comment or
Nice class, Prabhu. Thank you very much. I was going to say one fun fact that I've learned recently is that Ravana actually worshipped a deity of Vrahadev.
Radha.
Ravana was a worship. He worshipped Vraha every day till he died. And this deity of Vraha, he saw it, and it's in Mathura now. This is all in Jiva Ramaraj's book because he's going through these temples in Mathura. And this ancient deity of Vraha, he saw the deity and he became obsessed with it. And he said, "Can I worship it?" And I said, "No, actually, you're not a Vaishnava." And he said, "No, I want to worship it." So even though he was an enemy of Vishnu, and actually Vrahadev killed him in his past life, his brother, he was worshiping Vrahadev because he was so in love with this Vrahadev. So when this thing, and then I was going to say, talk about this determination. We have to have, like the determination to keep going in Krishna consciousness. You said life's not a bed of roses. I think we all experience that sometimes. That it's very difficult sometimes. Krishna throws you these curveballs. How do we make sure we don't waver? How do we become very determined? How do we make sure we don't waver in our Krishna consciousness?
That is a good question, and we all are always working on that. It's a continuous working project. We remain very humble within the temple. Even if we are elevated devotees, we do not feel proud of our devotion. We feel so insignificant. But when we go out, the people are suffering and they are hopeless, and we give them hope. Don't be like that. So we act in different dimensions, in different places and circumstances. So this positive and negative, it actually make our devotion well situated. And the most important thing is to remain within the devotees. That's the main Shakti energy. To follow the instruction of acharyas, to follow spiritual masters, and to follow from the scriptures. These all together and living with devotees and humbly practicing gives us a strength, daily basis. We are every day nourishing our faith. All we do to make our faith strong. That's all we are doing. So it is all like a teamwork, combined effort.
I was going to add one thing that you said that your name, somehow you got the name Kirtan Yajna, but you don't know how you got it. But actually, you do Kirtan and you do Yajna. So Kirtan Yajna makes quite a lot of sense.
It makes a little bit sense, but I am like 99% is not doing, only 0.1% maybe. That is not satisfying to my guru and to every devotees. So in Nepal, whenever I talk to them, what are you doing in America? Come back. All the time they say, come back, you are in Maya illusion.
I don't think so.
They all tell this.
They're all thinking about going to
Yes. Hare Krishna. Anything else?
We'll go to war with Nepal if they try to take you back.
It's true.
But this temple is very steady. I like this temple. In American, I should not say criticize other temple, but I have not been any other temple. But the mood here is a devotion is fixed, is steady. I really appreciate Mother Sandamani's dedication. She actually showing example every day. She without fail. She wake up and chant. And we all, younger and healthier people, come up with so many excuses, but she will still continue. This is really a good thing we can learn. All of us can learn. Yeah. Thank you. So that we have Lord Nrsimhadev here. Luckily, the only picture of Lord Nrsimhadev, but we do have here. Actually, this Nrsimhadev is installed, right? Somehow. And one thing, it is said that in order to worship or pray to Lord Nrsimhadev, Ram, Krishna, one does not need to be initiated. Anyone can pray to the Lord and get benefit. But for prema, we go through the initiation process and everything. But just to ask help, protection, Lord Nrsimhadev, one does not need to be initiated. This is mentioned in the scriptures. Even unqualified people can pray to them and they can receive the mercy. Hare Krishna. This is called real dhan, wealth, sadhana. Sat dhana. Dhana means wealth, sat means you earn it by real means, not cheating or not stealing or anything. All the sadhana that regular morning program, dancing, I attend only like one day complete morning program, that's it. But you do every day, so you are very, very rich. Devotees are very, very rich. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki jai. Sri Prahlad Maharaj ki. Gaur Premanande. Okay.